Human, dawn is ascending. How was your rest? I trust you found these quarters comfortable enough. I find there's a calmness in the energy of this wing of the manor. The others won't visit this wing, which carries a certain peace of mind. To my kind, this wing emits a rancid, off-putting smell, undetectable to mortals. But it's believed the smell is caused by some supernatural anomaly tied to the space. Most likely the trapped soul of a long-deceased mortal who has not yet been found or able to move from this earth. That happens every so often. A mortal soul is doomed to purgatory for an undefined amount of time. So they end up wandering the earth, usually tied to some object or place, haunting the unfortunate enough to come into contact with it. In the past, if a vampire encounters one of these sad, helpless beings, the exchange does not end well. And when a mortal, dead or alive, believes they have nothing to lose and no stake in any game, they become a problem. But enough about that. Whatever the spirit is, they have never shown threat or force to me personally. And that is all that matters for now. Here, I've brought you some breakfast. You must be famished. The others like to keep some human food in the home, mainly to keep up appearances for times when mortals must enter the home for one reason or another. An entire kitchen and dining quarter without a single plate or a piece of fruit might be a cause for suspicion, don't you think? There is enough suspicion surrounding this home already. The others, they're smart. They do what they can to keep up appearances. Please, feel free to eat. Don't be shy. I may no longer enjoy consumption of food, but I recall the fulfilling excitement of eating, even after so many years. There's a certain comfort in ritual. Let's continue yesterday's discussion. You recall that I mentioned a second option that would help you attain what you desire, that enlightened path to truth and power of the world. You recall that this alternative does not require for you to become one of my kind, and as such, it has its own unique set of considerations to be wary of. Hundreds of years ago, whispers of an ancient spell rippled through the vampire population. The spell was said to contain the supernatural power to transfer a certain level of immortality, skill, to humans without making them immortal. Things like increased strength and speed, agility, sensory capacity, and untapped capacity for knowledge and comprehension. But perhaps most significantly, it allowed humans to escape biological aging, although they still could be killed in many of the usual mortal ways, like illness, bodily harm, but they would not die of old age. Most of my kind dismiss this thing as folklore, of no consequence to our world, until one day a human appeared, providing a true example of the spell. This particular human proved a troubling threat to any of my kind and was immediately banned. No vampire could openly perform the ritual ever again without the threat of persecution. A stronger, smarter human race is a direct threat to the existence of the dark underworld. Even speaking of it now, I am at risk. It is a worthy risk, however. Please consider this an alternative instead of your desire to become one of my kind. It is not without some drawbacks, however. You would have the ability to gain such powers, but as I said, you would not be fully immortal. If you're careful, you might manage to survive hundreds of years, providing you could stay alive that long. But you would not be immune to typical mortal threats. It must sound enticing, I'm sure, but there is one more thing. If you were to undergo this spell, your existing memories would be erased. You would hold no ties to your current world. All would be erased as you are born again with new powers and possibilities. A lonely birth, but a blank slate on which to experience the world and craft an entirely new existence. And because I would be the one implementing this spell, I would be your only memory to be permitted to be retained with this rebirth. All of our past conversations and connections would be preserved, thankfully enough. I would be the one familiar piece in this new puzzling world of yours. Now, would you forego all the things you know and love to ascend to new heights and obtain the wisdom you so desperately seek? Is that a price worth paying? This is a very personal question, and I am sure now you understand why I say this decision is yours, and yours alone.